Hello and welcome to day 6 of my travels. Today, the first order of business was visiting the Oriental Express, the old train that used to come all the way out here. And they still have the original locomotive. And then we moseyed on down the line and found the Spice Bazaar. Now before we hit the Spice Bazaar, we first saw the garden and pet market, which was really neat. I do love pets, so that was enjoyable for me. And my mom loves gardening, so it was like the best of both worlds melded into one. It was wonderful. There were many different bulbs, there were seeds, fancy fertilizers, pretty much anything for gardening, they had it. And then there were also, of course, many fish, saltwater, freshwater. And then there were dogs, which was so cute. Look at this sweet little dog. Oh, I wanted to take it home, and it sounded just like my old dog Sasha sounded, and it kind of made me sad, but it was so cute. Oh, the puppies were so happy to see you. Hi, cuties. Hi, cutie. You're very sweet. And there were cats, not as many cats though. There's enough strays that I guess you never need to buy one, you can just pick one up off the street. There were also lots of birds, like budgies, and there were chickens, there was a white peacock, and there was a white peacock with like a turquoise neck. I guess that's the male. Very beautiful as well. And there were tons of different kinds of dog foods, different colors. And then we headed inside to the actual Spice Bazaar. And one of our first purchases was this lovely leather belt. And it's reversible, so it's black on one side and white on the other side. My mother got a cashmere pashmina. She was thrilled about. Hopefully it actually is cashmere. We also got some tea. They had a whole bunch of different kinds of tea. They had love tea, which is ridiculous, pomegranate tea, which is the one I picked up, and my mom picked up some orange green tea, which seemed quite nice. They also had exotic kinds of saffron. They had cashmere saffron, which is apparently a very rare saffron. We also tried our hands at bartering. I think we did a good job, but I'm sure we still got ripped off a fair bit, but whatever, we're used to it now. We also got some pistachios. They had tons of different kinds of nuts that were delicious. We got to sample a couple. I got to try the Turkish Delight, and it's so much better here than it is like if you buy a box of it at home, like the real Turkish Delight, not the Big Turk, which is delicious. It was a lot more like a gummy, and the ones with pistachios in them were good, and they had every flavor under the sun. There was like banana and kiwi and strawberry and chocolate, original, rose, whole bunch. They were pretty good. I wouldn't buy it particularly, but it was really cool to get to try it. They also had honey, which looked amazing. I almost wanted to get it just to have a little bit for myself. It looked so good. They also have lots of sponges hanging from the ceiling, like sea sponges and whatnot. I guess for bathing. I don't know what else you'd use them for. But it's just kind of neat to see them all hung up like that. And they also have like dried eggplant, lots of different strange dried things like that. They also have like nuts coated in chocolate or coated in honey, different things, and they're like these long bars, like round bars. They look like they might be good, but there weren't any samples, so I'll never know. Also, one of the things that I was looking for, because I saw them in a restaurant, were these straws that have an extra large bendy part, so you can like make shapes with them. Like you can bend it into a heart, or you can like tie it sort of a knot, or it's kind of like a wacky straw, but not. And we finally found them, and I was so happy. I didn't take a picture, but trust me, they're awesome, they kick ass, and I was excited. I did a happy dance, I was so excited. So we got out of the bazaar, and the streets were so busy. I got a little video of it. Also, there were some entertaining toys. There were some toys from my youth there, like the penguins that go up the stairs and then drop down that slide. I was like, oh, it's like being a child again. And there was like a crawl army guy. There was like a dancing little toy girl. A whole bunch of fun little toys. And they all, of course, make tons of sounds. I also found these lovely earmuffs, which I wanted to model, but I didn't think the storekeeper would be happy. He looked very grumpy. Sexy, eh? We also found like a wholesale store that had cups and paper plates and napkins, and they also had these toppings, which I guess are for ice cream. There were some strange flavors, like there was usual like chocolate caramel, but then there was also strawberry, kiwi, pistachio, hazelnut, all these interesting flavors. I don't know, maybe they were good. They also had some candies. Their Smarties are a different color here. They're different tones than ours. So I grabbed a photo of those. There was also tons of kitchenware in this one section, so my mother was in heaven. She loves buying kitchenware and plates and stuff like that. I've had to save her from herself and remind her of the journey home sometimes. Here's a fun side note. While we were walking, we saw something entertaining. It was this woman, and she was selling toy guns, and they're like little machine guns, and every time someone passed, she'd like shoot you with it. So I grabbed this photo, unbeknownst to her. That's my mom's shoulder in the background. I'm pretending I'm taking a photo of her. Sneaky, I know. Also, the walking signs here are kind of cool. They look like the person's actually walking, which is fun. We don't have that in Canada, so that's neat. After the machine gun woman, we found a baklava and borak place to eat. I got a selection of different ones. There's a chocolate one, a pistachio one, a hazelnut one, and a walnut one, and then there's kind of multiples of some of them. They give me more than what I asked for, but what are you gonna do? And we also tried, it was kind of a different kind of baklava. It still had that pastry-ish feel or taste, like very, very buttery, but it was more noodly, and it had like kind of like a farmer's cottage cheese with it. It was really, really good. The other stuff was alright. Some of it was a bit too sweet. My tummy actually ended up aching a little bit afterwards, but that's alright. I got to try some new stuff, so that's always cool. So we walked around a little more, seeing a couple more sites before our last day in Turkey. And then tonight I'm off to go clubbing. I met with the guy earlier and found out a little more information about it, and he said we can come back whenever I want, so that's good. I also found out that we're going to go to a club that plays Latin/Turkish music. So I don't know what that'll be like, but I will report back. And then after that we're going to go to a rock club. It's all live bands, and they all play 70s, 80s music. Don't really like the 80s, but hopefully there'll be lots of 70s and maybe 60s if I'm lucky. So I'm looking forward to a night of fun and frolic, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.